right there with the setup of the phone with the cup holder holding it up. I did not eat yet today. I ate my last food, which was corn chip bits. You know, the bottom of a normal chip bag, like tortilla chips that you get from the grocery store, and then all that's left is the little tiny little crumbs that get compressed in the corner, and then you're doing the scoop pan. Just because I think you don't want to get defeated by the chip bag or feel like you're wasting them, and it's just crunch and salt, really. But I ate that at 8:01 or 8:02 last night, and then so my fast was supposed to end at 12, or I guess 12:02 p.m. lunchtime-ish. But I decided to go on a run like 11:30 or so. But just this morning, I didn't feel like I had it all figured out logistically, like what I was going to eat. And also, I didn't run this one. I mean, I was up at that 4 a.m. time, but I just laid there. And I think I convinced myself that I was going to use today as a rest day. But as soon as I went past, say, 5 o'clock or something, I regretted it, and I wished that I had went for a run. And so as I'm moving around, and I stayed in bed until about 6:30 maybe. Yeah. Then went and took a dump, and then got going, and then my littlest daughter got up because she felt me get up out of bed. And so, where was I going with that? I just kind of broke with the consistency that I had been having the last 4 days. I guess since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which was this early, about 4:30 run. I skipped it today, and then but hours later when I was regretting it. And it's got to be something to do with once you get an established routine and then you break a part of that routine, you feel kind of bad. I got up and started getting my day going, and was trying to stay as patient as possible with my 3 daughters in the morning, with getting them ready for school or daycare or camp, what have you, whatever they're going to that day. Today was 2 of them going to daycare and 1 going to camp, and we have more time to deal with because I can't get my kid to camp until like a little bit later than school time would start. So anyways, in all the shuffle of getting them dressed and sunscreen on and making sure they drink enough water and bags packed and lunches made, I did kind of make myself some food. I made like a little salad, and then I don't know, I was just kind of spinning my wheels, and I was telling myself I'm not gonna bring a bunch more crackers or this or that, or like nothing seemed that great. I also just felt like I was just being lazy and I wasn't gonna do it, and so I was standing there like, I made that salad, but I'm not even gonna take it. I'll just go and eat something. I'll just go get some food. Which in my head I was like, that's not the right move, because now we're spending money again. That's no bueno, as I'm trying to eat healthier and spend less money. And I already ate out randomly once this week. I think it was on Tuesday. didn't fast that day. That was the day I went for like a 10-mile jog, and then I went and walked around inspecting houses all day. But that morning, after my 10, I figured I was gonna need some energy, so I had like a bagel and some eggs and some potatoes and some sausages. I ate like quite a bit, and I guess I had convinced myself that was gonna hold me off until dinner time. But I'm walking around the college neighborhood inspecting these apartments and houses, and I finally got a little dehydrated in just the water I had, and I started fantasizing about a Dr. Pepper, and it just sounded so good. So yeah, I got a couple tacos and a Dr. Pepper. They hit the spot, but I'm finding as I'm getting older is I don't need any of this, like any of these fast food options. I like them. They're delicious, but they're not good for you, and it's a drain on my pocketbook. So I've been much better at bringing a ton of food, but for whatever reason today, I just didn't. And so all I grabbed was 2 bubble waters and that salad, and I got everybody to daycare and camp on time, and then I go to work, and I just didn't prepare like myself very well today. Like I didn't have a bag for all the extra little stuff, so I'm walking into the office and I'm carrying like my running shoes and my salad and my empty coffee cup and extra clothes to change into, which I guess I had told myself I was gonna go for a jog either after work or at lunchtime or something, but then it's just such a hassle as you're like changing clothes, and then you're gonna sit in your own like gunk the rest of the day, which normally I don't mind, but I've just been trying to not do that. Just run and then shower and go to work, and then that's one thing I don't have to worry about. But didn't happen this morning, and I guess I wasn't satisfied that I didn't go for a run after I slept in. And also now I remember that my right hamstring was feeling really sore yesterday morning after I didn't jog very far. I only jogged like 6 miles, but I felt like until lunch or early afternoon it was pretty sore, and I guess I had convinced myself I was going to take the day off and not run, but I was feeling guilty and I guess anxious about just getting that over with, and I had brought my stuff, and then also it's like, well, I'm not going to eat and then run afterwards, as like most all of my running, except for maybe 3 or 4 days in the last few months, have been in the morning fasted, and then the times I've run at night, it's either been just a fluke. Like a few weeks ago I ran a 10-miler like at dusk and made it back in time, and that was after eating, and somehow it was fine. But mostly it's running fasted early in the morning, or like 8 o'clock after dropping the kids off, and that's also fasted. So hey, I know that guy. Maybe I don't. So I wasn't going to. It looks like Mr. Scotty G. I was like, well, I'm not gonna eat and then run afterwards. So I just put my gear on at like 11:25, 11:30, and then went for a run at like lunchtime. And it was so hot, and I got all sweaty. And when I came back, I just drank both those bubble waters, and I never did eat that salad, really. It's an interesting thing when you start being consistent with your exercise and your eating, is you almost aren't very hungry after a long workout. You're definitely like thirsty, that's for sure. But yeah, I haven't eaten yet today. I think my fast window's at like 20 20 hours at this point, or 20 and a half. I don't know. I don't feel like loopy or anything. Definitely like hungry, that's for sure. But yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention was, as I was, remarking, or I observed, I dropped my daughter off at camp yesterday, and then she was sitting by herself. And then today I dropped her off, and one of her little camp friends was there and greeted her when she got there, and they both kind of smiled at each other, and they both seemed excited to see each other, that another day was here and we were going to play together. And this other little girl helped her find a spot to put her backpack, hang her backpack up on the fence. So that was fun to witness and see also. And as a parent, there's those times that make you feel like your kid's gonna be okay, and they have found some success in the world, when you're not around, and that they can, take care of themselves when they're out there by themselves. But that was cool. That was cool to see, and I wonder how today went, and I don't know what we're going to do. Part of me was thinking we should spontaneously go out for dinner, but I don't know. My wife's not one for spontaneity that often. She likes a routine. She likes having everything not in order, but she likes it when we go by the, not by the book, but it's a Thursday, so we usually don't eat out on Thursdays. But I have before. I think it's delicious.